It's easy to come up with new ideas. The hard part is to letting go of what worked for you 2 years ago, but will soon be out of date. So, very good morning to all of you. We have reached a fantastic fifth day of our 14-day program on research methodology. Till now, we heard Professor Sushil Kumar Sharma from the University of Allahabad. Today, we have with us Dr. Peeyush Bangur from Banasthali Vidyapeeth, Rajasthan. So I would like to request our keynote speaker, Ms. Anamika Thapa, to please introduce Dr. Bangur and offer him a formal welcome. As on the inaugural day, Dr. Bangur could not attend your program, and a few more participants joined us after the inaugural session. So over to you, Ms. Anamika.
Good morning, all of you. I welcome you all to the fifth day of Faculty Development Program in School of Liberal Arts, Uttaranchal University. So today's topic is basics. Peeyush Bangur. I'll just take you all to his introduction. Dr. Peeyush Bangur, working as an associate professor at Peet, Banasthali, Rajasthan. In ABDC ranked Scopus, Web of Science, UGC Care journals. He has guided more than 50 major research projects. 6 scholars are pursuing PhD under his guidance. His current roles and responsibilities include curriculum development, IQAC, ranking and rating related work, examination work, curriculum implementation, inspection of higher education and UGC, university compliance, R&D cell, library faculty in charge, external DAVV, and central evaluation, DAVV for 7 years. He has also developed 2 SWAYAM modules for NPTEL. His research objectives are to offer analytically rigorous and practical research that helps the investment community invest in the Indian stock market and to explore the new investment strategy, maximize return and minimize risk from the portfolio. With this, now I request Dr. Bangur to enlighten us on the topic today. Thank you.
Am I audible? Piyush sir, are you here in this meeting now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in.
Okay. So, we welcome you again, sir, in the meeting. And Ms. Anamika Thapa has just read your bio. Thank you,
Okay,
Anamika.
ma'am.
And now I cordially invite, sir, you to please enlighten us on the topic of basics of econometrics. Over to
Econometrics.
you, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you, the coordination team and the management of the Uttaranchal University for for the inviting me for presenting my thoughts. So we'll start with the econometrics. Well, let me clear one thing that first what today we will go with the basics of the econometrics. Tomorrow we'll understand the data, what exactly data is, and some models of the econometrics. In the later part, we'll understand the regression. So my whole the the series of the lecture is uh, is planned in this manner. So shall I start, ma'am? Shall I start?
Yes, sir. Sure,
Okay.
sir. Sir, would you like to share your screen also? Do you want to
Uh,
share your screen, sir? Some PPT
uh,
kind of thing?
Ma'am, PPT. I have PPT.
Okay, okay, sir. I'm giving you rights, sir. I am making you present and you will be able to share. Just
Okay,
give
ma'am.
me one second. Yes, sir. Now you can share.
Okay, ma'am. Just a minute. Ma'am, is it visible? PPT is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's visible now, sir. Right.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what exactly the econometrics is? First of all, we will explore this thing. See, the word econometrics is made up of two words. First one is the economics, and second one is the matrices. So the application of the matrices in the economics, that is the econometrics. We have to see here some models. Basically, one more thing I want to clear that when it comes to the data, only econometrics generally working on the secondary data. Hardly one or two primary variables it can manage, but when it comes to secondary data, it can manage n number of variable. So the basics of the the meaning of the econometrics is the to it is a mixture of matrices and the economics, the application of the matrices in the economics. So let us understand the other things about the econometrics. So the first thing, econometrics evaluate the economic relationship among the different variables. See, friends, when I'm talking about the variables, I'm the person of economics and finance. So we have lot of variable for the econometrics modeling, like GDP, like import, like export. When it comes to finance, we have stock market returns. As coordinator team told me that there are a lot of person from the different background. I'm not able to explain the variables of your subject, but yes, I can explain you how these variable can be used in your own research. So you have to search your own variables, like for example in English or in psychology or in Hindi, there are some variables that you have to search by your own. And then how to use through the econometrics or through statically, you have to prove your things. It can be made by the econometrics comfortably. So when it comes to the economics and finance, like we have the GDP, we have the import, we have the export term. Export is a variable. So generally what we see, the impact of the import on the GDP, impact of the export on the GDP. So we have to search our own term when it comes to the or our own variable from our own subjects. Then second one is, it is the combination of economics, mathematical economics, and statistics. See, every model of the econometrics is the mathematically proven. Every model of the economics is the mathematical proven. We have to apply the data on that model and prove things statically. This is the core crux, or this is the crux of the econometrics, that every model is already proven mathematically, and what we have to do, we have to apply the data on that particular model and prove it statically. The results should be proven statically. The third point is, econometrics has the objective to provide some values to the parameter of the economic relationship. See, when it comes to the modeling part, econometrics always requires some numerical value rather than rather rather than some behavioral value. Like in many research, we generally sees the perception of the peoples, or for a particular product or any other thing. So generally, econometrics does not measure the what we can say, the perception of a particular research. It generally needs the numerical value. Without numerical value, it is not possible to the model, or in case of econometrics, that you can prove your own research. I hope everything is clear up to here. I am asking from the participants.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Hmm. Then next, these relationships are expressed in mathematically form and combined empirically with economics. See, I have written economics here, but you can use your own, you can apply this particular models in your own research also. It is not hard and fast rule that it will be applicable on only on the economics or finance. It can be applied everywhere. For example, let us understand with the example. For example, there is a regression model. Now regression comes under the econometrics part. Econometrics is like we can say that econometrics has been adopted the regression model. In generally regression model, what we do, we generally check the cause and effect relationship among the two variables when it comes to the simple regression. I'm talking about simple regression. When it comes to the simple regression, we take the two variable and we can check the impact of one variable over the other. But econometrics has been accepted the regression model with some assumptions. When it comes to statistics, we have been made in our MBA classes or our graduation classes was what exactly the regression, where we did not understand what exactly the assumptions are. But when it comes to the econometrics, we have to understand what assumptions regression model has. Like there is one Garch model. Garch model has its own assumption. Like the basic assumption of the Garch model is the series or the data should be heterostaticity, residual variance. The residual variance should be heterostaticity. While in the regression, it is just opposite. If you show the data with heterostatic variance, then your assumption of the regression will be failed. So when it comes to the econometrics, you have to check which model you can apply and what type of relationship it is showing with the other variables. One more thing I want to clear you, that it is a judgmental. Econometrics is a judgmental in terms of model. When it comes to the model, you can use any model. This is up to your perception that this particular model can help me in the future. Like for example, if I have to check the volatility of the capital market, then I can go Garch model. Now Garch model has 32 models, so you can use any type of model subject to what result you are expecting from the model. So it's all about the judgmental selection of the model. You can select any of the model. Now, next, statistical methods like regression analysis, which help in explaining the economic phenomena, are adopted as econometric method. I have been told already this thing that regression model is now adopted by the econometrics by taking some assumption, or some assumption has been added to the regression model, and what we say now it becomes the part of the econometrics, although it is in statistics also, but when it comes to the assumption, it is a part of econometrics. Now, economic relationship which depict the random behavior are generally not considered in the economics and mathematical formulation, hence not included in the econometrics. Again, I'm saying when it comes to check the perception, see, we have our own perception, few other person have his or her own perception. So you cannot judge such type of behavior through the econometrics, because every model has its own assumption, and random behavior is not accepted in the econometrics. If you are talking about if you are talking about the person wants to buy a particular product, then what behavior he or she will do, it cannot be judged by the econometrics. You can say that it is a disadvantage also of the econometrics, but yes, we cannot go for the result when it comes to the random behavior, where behavior is regular changing. In fact, I will say that behavior cannot be measured by the econometrics. Econometrics never measured the behavior. So generally econometrics use the secondary data only rather than primary data. Fine. Then next, using the statistical methods and the addition of the economics and mathematics helps in the forecasting and estimation. See, this is the most important part of the econometrics. That is the forecasting. You can use the statistical methods by using the mathematics. Definitely everything is proven mathematically, so I'll not discuss here, but yes, it helps in the forecasting. In the recent paper, in my recent paper, we have been forecasted like the angle, trigonometric angle through the econometrics method, and that forecasting make that paper to publish in the Scopus type of journal. So, so the forecasting can be comfortably done by the econometrics, and after that we can estimate our results. There are two types of econometrics. Number one is the theoretical econometrics, and second one is the applied econometrics. So let us understand what exactly theoretical econometrics. See, in this type of econometrics, we or researchers use the non-experimental data, and it is cannot be conducted in the laboratory, and this is not a controlled process. Theoretical econometrics is never conducted in the laboratory. It's generally used in the field work, but it is very less used because everyone is looking towards the application part rather than the theoretical parts. There is very less development comparison to application part of the econometrics. You can see much more paper in the application part rather than the theoretical part. The important aspect of the theoretical econometrics that every model which is developing, it comes under the theoretical econometrics rather than application part. Second one is, here experiments are not controlled and cannot be conducted inside the laboratories. Laboratories may generally we can say that it is not possible to conduct the these type of experiments. Fine. Then next is the applied econometrics or application part of the econometrics. This is the application part of the econometric theory, and problems like investment, demand, and supply can be comfortably used here. See, friends, we have to understand when we have some variables. I'm not talking about only investment, demand, and supply. Every subject has its own variable. You have to find out which variable you just want to on which variable you want to do your own research. So you have to search your own variables, what type of variable you can use, and what type of relationship with the other variable you want to check. So when it comes to economics and finance, we have the the variables like investment, demand, supply. Again, I will repeat that GDP and import we have, real exchange rate we have, trade we have. There are so many factors which can be used in this particular part. Here experiments are controlled and can be conducted inside the laboratories. See, not only laboratories, I can do such type of experiment at my home also. I can do with the help of my laptop also. I have to apply the regression model. I need only software. And anywhere I can conduct such type of experiment if I have proper data, if I have right or correct data. So these type of things are the controlled or application part of the econometrics is controlled. Then here we use the tools or models to conduct our experiment, like forecasting economic behavior. Definitely it is a part of the economics, and we can comfortably forecast the economic behavior. We can forecast anything, in fact. Like if I want to forecast the weather of next 3 to 4 days, then I can comfortably forecast it with the help of econometric tool. I can forecast anything. But I cannot forecast the behavior through the econometric tooling. It is not possible with the econometrics that I can judge the behavior of any person. So it is not possible in this type of techniques. Now, aspects of the econometrics: formulation and specification of the econometric model. First one. Second one is the estimation and testing of the model, and third one is the use of the model. We'll discuss these all aspects one by one. In the first part, formulation and specification of the econometric model, what we do in this stage or in this method, we formulate the economic model and then test them empirically. Generally, researchers what has been done in their own research, they first formulate the model, prove it mathematically, and then after they have been test it statically, empirically or statically, or using the secondary data, we can say it. When it comes to empirically, that means that particular research is using the secondary data, and everything is proven statically. That is the basic or core meaning of the empirical. So what we do, we generally formulate the economic models and we test them empirically. Then second one, several models are derived from an economic and statistical model. Undoubtedly, everything is mathematically proven, and after that we test these type of model on the we test these type of model statically. Generally, economics is an important aspect when it comes to the econometrics. Without economic variables, it is not possible to what we say to check the econometric behavior. Number one. Number two, most of the paper in the current scenario or in today's world is belongs to the economics and finance, when it comes to the econometric model. In very less paper we are the papers are using primary data and applying the econometric model. So it is the percentage is less than 1%. Such type of paper are less than 1%, and more than 99% papers are secondary data papers, and they are applying the econometrics in their own paper. Mathematically, proofs are required. Without mathematically proof any model, it is not possible to take or call it as an econometric model. Every model is different in choice of functional form, specification of the stochastic structure of the variable, etc. See, again I am repeating the last line I have been repeated on 2 or 3 slides ago. I told you that, for example, regression has its own assumption and Garch has its own assumption. See, we generally use the assumption of residual variance, homostatic residual variance in the regression. But in the Garch, we have to check the heterostatic residual variance. See, both are just opposite. If you give heterostatic residual variance in the regression model, then the regression will go spurious. It will be completely spurious or waste. But when you give the homostatic variance in the Garch model, in that case, you will not able to get your result rightly. So every model has its own assumption. Without that assumption, it is not possible to do your research. So you have to remember the assumptions also, what assumptions are there, and how they will be proven through the statically, or how you will prove these assumptions statically. Then next one is the estimation and testing of model. Based on the data set, models are estimated and tested for their suitability. So everything based on the data set. Again, I'm repeating, most of the data set or most of the data set belongs to the secondary data. And without the secondary data, it is not possible to pursue your research when it comes to the econometrics. Yes, there are different methods for the primary data, but when it comes to econometrics, you need at least one or two set of the data which is of secondary type. Primary, all data, if you keep the primary, then it is not possible to apply the econometric model. This process is also known as statically inference of the modeling. See, after the application part, after the formulation part, you have to prove your results statically. Without statical inference, it is not possible to prove any other model or any model. Then estimation procedures are done by the numerical values using different parameters of the model. See, again, the numerical values are important, and we generally interpretate the numerical values. We, in fact, we get only the numerical values when we are applying the any model, or when we apply any model, we generally get the numerical values. We did not get other value, and we have to what we say that we have to estimate, or we have to interpret such type of values which are given by the softwares or by your models. If you are applying your model with pen or paper, then you will got the numerical value only, and then you have to interpret such type of models. Now, use of the model, we use these models to understand cause and effect relationship for forecasting. Sorry, here is relationship and forecasting. One mistake is there. We use these model to understand cause and effect relationship and forecasting. What we do, we generally check the cause and effect relationship and to forecast our research, or to make the forecasting in our research. For example, the height of a class, we generally read such type of examples. The height of the class boys has the average of 65 centimeter, and the class of the girls having the height of the 60 centimeters. So please tell us that whether there is cause and effect relationship. For example, one more example, when it comes to the finance, that I just want to check whether I have been developed an investment strategy. I've been developed an investment strategy, and there is already there is already a existing strategy. After few modification, I have been prepared a new strategy, that I am saying to the world that this is my proposed strategy. And now I want to replace the existing strategy. I have proven my all models, or my strategy mathematically. Now what I will do? I will replace that particular existing strategy by the by using the statical inference. Again, I am repeating. I want to propose a investment strategy which is better, than the existing strategy. I have been proven my proposed strategy mathematically, and after the proof of the mathematics, or a mathematical proof, I just want to beat this particular strategy or existing strategy statically. So what I have to do? First, I have to prove the strategy mathematically, and then after I will beat that particular strategy through the statically. So I have just checked whether there is cause and effect relationship between these two strategy or not. So what I have done, I have applied a simple regression model. And after the application of the simple regression model, I have been interpreted the coefficient of that particular regression model. Like we have been read the intercept and slope of the regression. So I just proved that, see, my slope or my strategy slope is better than the current strategy, and the slope of the regression, sorry, intercept of the regression is also better when it comes to the interpretation. So I have been proven that particular strategy has been proved in the market, or I have been replaced that particular existing strategy through my proposed strategy. So my process was, first I prove it mathematically, second I beat the strategy which is already existing in the market. So these two things are important for use of the model, or we have, or when we have to check the cause and effect relationship. For example, I want to check the impact of the import on the GDP. Then again I run a simple regression model. If I want to check the variable like the effect of variable like import, export, trade, real exchange rate combinedly on the GDP, in this case I will go with the multiple regression model. I will keep all variables as a independent variable, and GDP as a dependent variable. So I have to use to check or to understand the basic cause and effect relationship among the different variables, and I can forecast also. See, there are various model. In fact, every large model can forecast anything. Uh, if you are having the data secondary, for example, if I want to forecast the stock market of the next few days, then I can comfortably forecast, or I can easily forecast the model. But yes, there are some limitations also, but yes, we have the solution of the forecasting. If I want to forecast that next 3 or 4 days how market will behave, or how market will or the volatility, how volatility will behave in the market, so I can comfortably forecast that particular thing. Then next, these model can also be used to formulate the policy which helps in the decision making. See, most of the statistical, we have many institute, government institute, where statistical practices are very common. And now these department has also been adopted the econometrics. There are lot many people who are publishing their paper from RBI. From RBI, there are a lot of people which are publishing their paper using econometrics. They have their own department, research department, which generally use these models, which help them in the decision making. The best example is the RBI. SEBI is also using. Some other statistical departments are also there. So these models are now helping in the decision making also. Now, these models may help the policymaker to judge the goodness of the fitted model and take necessary measure to readjust the relevant economic. Sorry, what happened? Relevant economic. So, friend, here what generally policymakers does, they just check the model whether this model is absolutely fitted, and and if the model is perfectly fitted, then what happens? Then they can comfortably say that their research is fine. The next is the advantages of the econometrics. The first advantage is by using the tools, one can convert data into the specific model so that decision making becomes easy. In the last slide, we have been discussed. Then results are derived empirically, hence unquestionable. See, once things proven statically or proved statically, then there is no question on that particular research that your data is right or data is wrong or any other thing. Nobody will go to question on your research if it is proven statically. The next is we get the specific results from the data. We get the results from the data. Or we can say that the data is the results are very specific if you are using the data. Then few disadvantages are also there. Sometimes econometric tools show the spurious relationship because the model always show the pattern based on the past information. Example, correlation between rain and dividend paid. See, it was just an example, but just I want to tell you, if you use, there is the assumption in the regression model that your data should be normally distributed. Your data should be normally distributed, or your residual variance should be homostatic. If such type of assumption are not proven in your research, then such type of regression will be treated as spurious regression. Spurious regression, or the or the relation which that particular equation is showing or model is showing, that will be treated as spurious. That means the research is not up to the mark, and reviewer or editor will generally not accept your research. So this is the core crux of the econometrics. Without assumption, you cannot apply the model. So first you have to prove your assumptions, and then after you have to go with the result part. If you not approving the assumption, take my words, I am repeating again, it is not possible that you will able to prove anything, or you will not able to publish anything. So everything, every assumption is important when it comes to the econometrics model. Like in the regression, we have 9 assumptions. In the similar way, GARCH have 4 assumptions. These 4 assumptions should be approved, or these 9 assumptions should be approved. One model also is there, Logit model. Logit model has 7 assumptions. 6 to 7 assumptions we have to prove. Only after that we will be able to or we will able to publish our paper, or we will be able to interpret our results. Then next is, there are always a choice between simplicity and accuracy. See, this is the common factor. This is the common factor. हम लोग हमेशा सुनते हैं. We always listen that the more simple, the you will use the things more simple, your result will be accordingly. Your result will be accordingly. For example, if I choose the simplest variables, or the variables where a lot of work is to be done, it is not possible that your paper is going to publish, or you will able to do the research, because already lot of people has been done the work on such type of variable. So you have to search something different. See, choosing the model is a tedious task. If we choose fewer variable, it gives us simplicity and faster results, but it may be inaccurate due to insufficient information. On the other hand, if you choose a higher number of variable, the model may become acceptable, or just a minute, become critical. Sorry, not acceptable, become critical. On the other hand, if we choose a higher number of variables, the model may become critical, but yes, it is acceptable. It is acceptable. See, hardly doing research on 1 or 2 variable until and unless it is not innovative. If you are doing innovative variable or working on the innovative variable, then there is no issue. But if you are using the repetitive variables, lot of research has been published in that particular paper or that particular variable, then it is not possible for you to publish that particular paper until unless it is innovative variable. So you should work on the innovative variable. Always remember, innovative variable will the chances of publication with the innovative variable is very high, rather than existing variable, rather than you are using the existing variable. So on the other hand, if we choose a higher number of variables, the model may become critical. But yes, when it comes to higher number of variable, there are there are good chances of the publication. But yes, model definitely become the critical, because you have to manage each and every variable accordingly. Next, important points to be remembered. Important points to be remembered. The tools of econometrics are very judgmental. Again, I'm saying that it is up to our judgment which model we have to use. We have to model, for example, when we have to use regression, when we have to use the multiple regression, when we have to use GARCH model or Logit model or any other model, ARLDL model is there. So we have to be very judgmental. Like there is no hard and fast rule that on these two variable. For example, there are two variable x and y. So on x and y, only two variable, on x and y, only a particular model can be applied. Any model can be applied of the econometrics if you proving your assumption or the assumption of the models. Second, the conclusion can vary from user to user. See, numerical value will be same. Numerical value will be the same. Either it is applying by me or any other person, but yes, the conclusion or result can be interpreted differently. There is no issue in that. You cannot question on that, that Mr. A has been interpreted differently and Mr. B has been interpreted the same thing differently. So conclusion can be vary. There are the chances person can interpret things differently. Result depend on the type and specification of the model. See, Garch model has 32 models. 32 type of Garch model are there. So every model gives its own result. For example, there is T-Garch model. We can see the leverage effect. There is one effect in the finance, that is the leverage effect. It can be comfortably uh, we can find comfortably the leverage effect with the T-Garch model. But when it comes to Garch one model, it is not possible for us to measure the leverage effect in the economy. So it depends which model you are using. Like one more model is there, M-Garch model. M-Garch or mean reverting Garch model, we generally says it. Here it consider the average of your data. So it depends which model you are using and what type of result you are expecting from your own research. So it depends completely. Then next, results are model oriented. That's it. And next is, it can be applied both on cross sectional and time series data. See, these type of time series will definitely discuss in tomorrow class. What type of cross sectional data is, what type of time series data is. So it can be applied in both type of data. We have one more data series like panel data is also there now. In last 10 to 12 years, the importance of panel data has been increased because you can use many of the variable with the panel data. Now the result should be statistically significant for making decision. It has been already discussed. The result must be empirical driven as well as futuristic favorable. I will not say favorable, but yes, it should be futuristic. It should be futuristic. Your result should be futuristic, and all results should be empirically or statistically driven, or by using the data you should prove each and everything. One can use the different model can also be applied to single problem to get better insight. Again, I'm saying that different model can be comfortably used and with the single problem, like many people's using the time series data of the NSE return or National Stock Exchange return or Nifty return. Some use Garch 1-1 model, some use Garch T-Garch models, some use GJR Garch model, some use some other model, some use regression model also. So it depends that what type of model you are using, or or you can see some better results also. If you want to check the leverage effect, again, T-Garch is the only solution. T-Garch, GJR Garch is the only solution. But when it comes to simple volatility, I am talking about simple volatility of the stock market, then Garch 1-1 is the best model. So it depends how your series is behaving, how your time series is behaving, and what what type of model is fitting in that particular time series. Next, overfitting or underfitting of model can be diluted by an improved model specification. See, fitting of the model is an important part. without fitment or without fitting the model, it is not possible to finalize your result. If model is overfitted or underfitted, in this case your result may be spurious, or it will not be accepted by the editor or the reviewers. So we have to see this type of thing also, that model is completely fitted on the data which we are using in our own research. Now tomorrow session will be on number one, data, different type of data. We'll discuss the different type of data. And number two, we'll see some models of the econometrics. Two or three models I will describe where you can use these type of models. See, my core area is finance and economics, so it will be very tough to explain the variables of other subjects. But yes, I will try to make you understand that where you can use these particular models in your own research. If you will explain me your variables, that we have such type of variables, so I can help in that particular thing, that which model you can apply in your own research. Now the reference is Damodar and Gujarati, and IIT Kharagpur note was there with me. And thank you very much for the today's class. This is my contact address. Oh, ma'am.
Hello, sir. I
Ma'am,
just got this.
if any other person, if any person have doubt, then please discuss.
Yes, sure, sir. Yes, all the participants are requested, if they have any doubt, they can ask their queries now. If there is any query, you can put up your queries now. Am I audible, I think? Right. Um, all right. It seems like the concept is all clear to all the participants because they are not putting up any query. All right. So now I request all the participants to please switch on their cameras for 2 minutes so that we can have a photo session. I request all the participants to switch on their cameras so that we can have a photo session. Just give me 1 moment, please. Just a moment. So thank you all the participants. Thank you very much for this.
Okay.
And I thank once again Dr. Peeyush Bangur sir for this quite enlightening session. And sir, we will have the second part of the same topic on Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So
Okay.
we'll meet again on Monday at 11 a.m.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. See you
Thank you.
all on Monday at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.